It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we have a beer from hjala in Estonia, and then the world's oldest brewery from Germany, Weihenstephaner. This is their collaboration beer. This is their cellar series, and that's kind of like all they called it. They haven't even, oh no, they have, it's on the side. It's called Zeit barrel aged wheat wine. There you go. So Weihenstephaner brewery started in 1040 in Germany. hjala probably started in, I don't know, 2005, maybe 2010. Amazing, isn't it? There's nearly like 1,000 years between the two breweries, yet they're collaborating together. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. 330 milliliter bottle. The lovely Roy Bruling from the Netherlands was kind enough to send me this beer. Lots of people talking about this beer, actually. Lots of people on the beer networks talking about this beer. It's a very popular beer. So I'm going to start off by very quickly getting rid of this wax top with a screwdriver. You have to do this just to get some kind of purchase on the, there you go. Right, I think that might be enough. Just give yourself a little cut like that. Just to be able to, there we go. You've got to be able to clamp your bottle opener. There we are. Over the metal bottle cap underneath. So, here we go then. Beer in the glass. Oh, look at this. Yes. Very, very lucky to get hold of beers like this. I still pinch myself to this day that I get sent wonderful beers like this. 12% ABV. 12% ABV. One very, very small one finger. Slightly off white head. Good levels of carbonation as you rock the beer back and forth. Doesn't that look wonderful? It's a deep cherry red, almost mahogany coloured beer. Let's get the aroma then on the beer. Oh my goodness me. Who needs real wine when you can have a wheat wine? Barrel aged. I've not read what barrels they've used. I'll take a guess at it. Maybe rum or whiskey. It's a little spirity on the aroma. It smells really good. A little bit of licorice, a little bit of sweet malt, little hoppy. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. The first thing you get is a little tickle of the carbonation that just kind of tickles away at the back of the throat there. And then there's this wonderful aged flavour from the beer. Now, I've just reviewed a Harvey's Bicentennial brew from 1990. The bottle was 24 years old. And there's a very similar aged flavour. I mean, in the Harvey's beer, it completely dominated. It completely dominated. But in this is a far newer beer. Of course, it's not 24 years old, is it? It's probably barrel aged for a few months. But you still get that very slightly kind of mustiness that comes through from an aged beer. And that's all part of the characteristics of the beer. That's part of the loveliness of the beer, if you like. You feel that warming. The beer hits the throat, slides down into the pit of the stomach. You get this wonderful, wonderful warming sensation from that 12% ABV. The beer reminds you that it's 12% ABV. Have a look as I rock that beer back and forth. Look at the carbonation chasing that head up the glass. That's because the beer has a wonderful, absolutely wonderful, wonderful, fantastic, creamy, rich mouthfeel. You can see the mouthfeel there. The carbonation is struggling through that liquid. Treacle, plum, fig, prune, little bit of banana. I thought that, now this is one thing that I was hoping for a little bit more in the beer. I was expecting a little bit more of the Weihenstephaner beer to come through. Maybe I was thinking maybe they used their Vitus for this. The Vitus is about 8% ABV, I believe, and I was thinking that maybe they could like jump it from 8% with a Vitus up to 12 by barrel aging it, because when you barrel age a beer, you're getting the alcohol from the barrel. They say if you were to have a fresh barrel that was emptied of whiskey and you filled that barrel up with water, sealed it and kicked it round a pub yard for a bit, that water would soak up. You'd be able to get that water up to about 40% ABV. No, not 40, maybe 10% ABV. You'd be able to get that water up to just by kicking a barrel of water around the yard. That's the point. That's the point here. I'm thinking maybe that they used the Vitus to get it up to 12% ABV. But then if they did, where is all of that banana? Where is all of that kind of banana-y, clovey, kind of like wonderful flavours from the Vitus? It's there a little bit, but this is more, I would say, more dominated by the barrel, by the spirit. It's lovely. It's absolutely fantastically wonderful, creamy, rich, a little bit of bitterness, heat in the throat from the 12% ABV, sweetness, bitterness, roasted malts, a little bit of roasted malts coming through, plum, fig, prune flavours, some of that woodiness from the barrel, vanilla, licorice. You know, there's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of flavour in this beer, and that's why you buy a beer like this in the first place. So, is there any English? Yes, a rich wheat wine aged in tawny, ruby and white port wine barrels. So it wasn't whiskey, and it wasn't, what's the other one? It wasn't rum or it wasn't whiskey. Makes sense now. Do you know, I was just talking to you about plum, fig and prune. I think the reason why it doesn't taste like a wheat beer anymore is because of that tawny, ruby and white port wine barrels. They've aged it in wine barrels, and you get that very kind of vinous plum, fig, prune, dark fruit flavours, if you like. Makes complete sense now. Created in collaboration with Bavarian state brewery Weihenstephaner. There we go. That's it then. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I just wish there was a little bit more of the Weihenstephaner flavours coming through in the beer. It's a little bit too dominated for me with the... Now, this is the thing, and this is my conclusion. I'm going to give a rating. Do you want the New World hjala Brewery to dominate the flavours in the beer? Or do you want Weihenstephaner, the world's oldest brewery, with 1,000 years of beer knowledge? Do you want their influence more in the beer? And I think this is where this beer is kind of like maybe causing a few arguments. I'm not sure. Is it? Personally, I think if I was going to use barrels, I'm going to use whiskey, rum. I want subtle flavours of barrel aged. I don't want pure domination of the red wine or the port. Here, what I'm finding here is the port is dominating. The red wine is dominating the flavours of the beer. I want more of that Weihenstephaner wheat beer, Vitus if you like, to come through. I want to say, hey, here we are, Weihenstephaner. It's not really doing that. I like it, and I want to thank Roy for sending it. It took me a while to kind of really get hold of this beer and really kind of understand it. It was only when I really read the label, the back of the bottle cap, that the label there, I thought, yeah, it is very vinous. It is very plum and fig and prune like, dark fruit. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Might be a bit controversial here, but 7 out of 10 for this one. I really think that Weihenstephaner would have maybe privately been a little bit disappointed with this one, because they probably would have wanted a little bit more of that Weihenstephaner to come through. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.